We're in Brooklyn now.
So this place was a chimney and special stove. Two stoves were here.
Oh, for what? What are they cooking?
No cooking. Because all food for prisoners produced in the special kitchen. At each sector in the camp was one kitchen. And
How did you take your picture? The whole thing or just of this? I took it sideways, like mostly of this one and half of this one, and I got the edge of the flowers in the front with the barbed wire and the building in the back.
hello.
What? See, these things are voltage things.
Oh.
No, I mean, they don't work anymore.
Yeah, what it used to be.
Yeah, so they keep trying to throw stuff against it, that's coming like that. So I just want to take a picture of it.
And this is the barbed wire.
This guy's talking over there. Person, can I see this one?
Oh, what's this?
The crematorium that was blown up.
Did the Nazis do it?
Yeah.
It is a bones. After the victims, because in this place burn corpses of inmates.
What? They burned?
Burn corpses in this pit.
This is a pyre?
Yes, the pyre, yes. It was a pyre.
They burned bodies over here?
Yes. Yes. And the ruins of crematorium number 2. In Birkenau was 4 crematories, were burned per day about 12,000 bodies. But one from crematories, one crematorium number 4 was completely destroyed in 7 October in 1944 by Jewish people, by Jewish resistance in this concentration camp.
Why?
During the insurrection in the camp. During insurrection, do you know? In this concentration camp, the resistance movement, Jewish people resistance movement, yes, organized a special uprising when crematorium number 4 was completely destroyed.
4?
Crematorium number 4. But crematorium number 2 and number 3, this one, and second one was destroyed 1 week before the liberation, exactly 20 January 1945. By Germans, yes, by Germans. And last crematorium number 5 was destroyed only 15 hours before the liberation. And we can see now the ruins of crematorium number 2.
Is there any standing here? Any crematorium standing?
Sorry?
Are there any crematorium that is standing here?
Only crematorium.
No crematorium?
No crematorium. because all gas chamber, all crematories in Birkenau were completely destroyed by Germans.
This is
And
where,
crematorium
but
number.
this is the pit where they burn bodies here?
Yes, but this
So how many people are buried here?
in this place.
Yeah.
Oh, for example, in crematorium, in which day,
Everybody here?
excuse me, in each day, in crematorium, for example, crematorium number 4, 2 and number 3, but bodies too are the pyres too. In that time when
John, what are you doing, John?
Burned, yes, all bodies were burned in the ovens, in the forest,
BOWL.
and in the pits
Because
too,
it's circular.
like this one with the things
It's not a burn.
and ashes after the bodies were transported into the river Wisła and put at the pit with surrounding this area, this concentration camp.
Bunch of bricks. Maybe it's a
You
pipe.
can now the prior, this is the prior in this moment.
Maybe
Because we are here in the cement, special cemented Jewish
So how many
garden here in four crematories. How many here? I don't know how many people.
Bowl, B-O-W-L.
Yes, bow and bow.
leaders from the National Conference of Synagogue Youth from all across the United States. And we are standing here at the open pit, standing on the ashes and bones of millions of Jews. And we talked about commemorating the 6 million, opposite the 6 million, the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust, and the 6 million Jews in America who live today, that we have the obligation to carry on the Jewish way of life, the learning of Torah, the keeping of mitzvot, and we here are choosing to dedicate ourselves to this end.
I'm lighting this candle for the 2 million Jews that died during the Holocaust.
Wait, let's don't say that.
I'm lighting this candle for the 3 million Jews who died in the Holocaust. I'm lighting this candle for the 4 million Jews who died in the Holocaust.
I'm lighting this candle for the 6 million Jews who died in the Holocaust.
I'm lighting this candle for the 6 million Jews who died in the Holocaust.
I'm lighting this candle for the 1 million Jews that lived in America.
Now wait till it's done. Wait. Cover it.
I'm lighting this candle for the 2 million Jews that live in America.
I'm lighting this candle for the 3 million Jews that live in America. I'm lighting this candle for the 4th million Jews that are living in America.
Fifth.
Fourth.
I'm lighting this candle for the 5th million Jews that are living in America.
I'm lighting this candle for the 6 million Jews in America to complete the work that the 6 million Jews in Eastern Europe weren't allowed to.
Sarah has it. Sarah has it right there.
I often wondered how it was possible to live under such conditions, but I think that it's the whole thought is so overwhelming that I find that it's difficult, even as many times as I thought, as many hundreds of hours I've read and heard. El Malei Rachamim, God full of mercy. Dayan Almanos, the judge of widows. V'yasomim, and the father of orphans. Al Noasech Asher, Titzapek, V'dam Yisrael Shenishbach Kamayim. Do not be silent and hold yourself back for Jewish blood that flows like water. Sein menucha nechayna akanpei ashchina b'malas kedoshim v'zohar. Give the proper rest on the wings of your spirit on high, the holy and the pure one. Kizohar Harakia Mazirim, shining as bright as the sun. Es Nishmoseyem, Shel Harbe Me'es Alpha Yisrael, the souls of the many hundreds of thousands, Anashim V'Nashim, men and women, Yeladim V'Yelados, boys and girls, Shenehergu that were killed, Shenishchatu that were slaughtered, Shenisrafu that were burnt, the Shenitvu that were drowned, the Shenechneku that were asphyxiated, Shenikvru Chayim that were buried alive, from Dinos, Poland, Litva, Romania, Russia, Akvusha, Germania, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, Yavon, Holland, Hungary, Belgium, Norvegia, Sarfas, Shara Artes Hakvushas, and all other occupied lands. Kulam Kidoshim Mahorim, they're all holy and pure. Vehem Goanim Sadiqim, among them were many great and righteous Sadiqim. Arzi Alvanon, who was strong as a cedar, Badirei Torah, and the great in Torah, Gan Eden Teimenu Chasam. And there, in the Garden of Eden, let their rest be. V'chein Balarachmim Yitzhar B'tzorei Chaim Es Nishmasam. Therefore, the Master of all mercy should gather all their souls. Hashem hu nachlasam, God is their inheritance. V'yiskolanu akaydasam, remember their sacrifice. V'samed lanu l'chol Yisrael l'chusam, and let their sacrifice be a merit for all of us. Eretz al tachasi damam, land, do not let their blood be covered. Fa'al yi makom uzakasam, and don't let it be a place for their prize. V'schusam nitchi Yisrael yeshuv l'chuzasam v'akdusha l'tamin neged Hashem tzidkasam. Yevayu shalom yinucha mishkavam and Omer Amen. Yizkadal v'yizkadal shmei Rabbi.
Amen.
V'yamad yivrach rusei v'yamnif malchusei. V'yatzmach rokonei v'karer ket mishichei.
Amen.
V'chayei chayin v'yimei chayin v'chayei d'chal beis Yisrael. B'agalav v'zman karib v'yimru Amen.
Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbi.
Yehei Shmei Rabbi mevarach v'yolam u'me'el ma'yah. Yizbarach v'yishtabah v'yizpah v'yizreimah v'yiznasei. Yizadav v'yizalav v'yizalol. Shmei d'kudsha b'richo. Leila min kol b'chasa v'shirasa, tuj b'chasa v'nechamasa. Ta'amidan b'yalma v'imnu amen. Yesh lo merabba min shemaya, v'chayim toivim aleinu al kol Yisrael v'imnu amen. V'yitashal min maimav, v'yitashal aleinu al kol Yisrael v'imnu amen. And to you who is buried here, we come today from the United States to tell you that you are not forgotten. Among your ashes, I am sure, are many of my own descendants who live not far from Kharkiv in the city of Bochnia and lived here in the country of Poland for hundreds of years. We come here to tell you that your death was not in vain, that the Jewish people still lives, and that we believe in the Torah, and that we believe in God, and that we know of your great heroism, that despite subhuman conditions, you never succumbed. There was never a case of in all these places in great starvation of any cannibalism or any other terrible such matter. You live your life in holiness, and we believe that because you are so holy and because you are so great, you were chosen for the greatest sacrifice since the destruction of the temple. We believe with complete faith that what took place here, no matter how unthinkable, is in our merit. It is in your merit that we live today in prosperity in the United States. And that we pray that what has taken place here will give us strength to continue. And we believe with complete faith that you have helped hasten the coming of Mashiach, so that will be complete faith, and there will be no longer any war. There shall only be peace for all nations. And there should be no more killing.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Be'emunah sheleimam, be'viyaz HaMashiach, be'viyaz HaMashiach ani ma'amin. Be'viyaz HaMashiach, be'viyaz HaMashiach ani ma'amin.
Amen. 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 Be'emunah sheleimam, be'viyaz HaMashiach, be'viyaz HaMashiach ani ma'amin. Be'viyaz HaMashiach, be'viyaz HaMashiach ani ma'amin. Amen. Emunah sheleimam, be'viyaz HaMashiach
ani ma'amin.
Shleimo V'yas Ani Ma'amin V'yaf al pi V'chol yom sheyavo V'chol yom sheyavo V'yaf al pi sheyismameh yair Kozer achakelo yachakelo V'chol yom sheyavo V'chol yom sheyavo
Does anybody here have anything you want to say? I, Yitzchak Ben Yenta, come here to beseech you at this holiest of places to give us all strength in our holy work to reach out to all Jews and to teach them the way of God, the way of Torah. We implore that the Almighty God will give each and every one of us strength to be better Jews and to be able to inspire others and to be able to live a life of Torah. The greatest monument in life is that of being. The greatest monument we can give you is ourselves, to follow in the tradition of our forefathers who for thousands of years have been able to maintain a life of Torah. We are the ones who are carrying on this tradition. And we ask you, Almighty God, to inspire us and to give us the strength, because we are so few and our persecutors are so many. Anybody wants to say something, you can say it silently before we leave. If you have anything you want to think or say or pray, we believe that that's a place where great people are buried, that they can help. We only pray to God, we don't pray to people. We pray that their presence can help our prayers be heard. So we'll take a moment of silence where you can all say your own personal prayer, and then we will continue. When you leave the cemetery, when you walk back, you take some grass and you throw it over your shoulder. That's what you do when you leave. But this whole place is a cemetery. I don't know where you ever leave.
Redo the candle. What you do with the candle?
What? Put it in the ground, see if it'll grow. It'll go.
What about putting it on the
Go out the bread.
It won't burn.
Rabbi, what about putting it on the
Put
bread?
it on the brick.
Rabbi.
Put it on the bricks.
Yes. Complete there. With the rooms of crematorium number 2.
The pyres were over here.
The fires?
Over
Was
all
it
over here.
Yes. It was
Staying
here
on
and
this
another
one.
places.
Did you? Okay. This is 2, and this 3,
Yeah.
and with 4.
Yeah.
4 is farther away.
Yes, there.
It's gone. Completely gone. And 5. 5 is over here. 4
Yes. And now it is yes. This way, please, now. Excuse me.
Be careful walking on the ruins. Come to us, please.
What?
Yesterday was here.
It was here.
Hey, Brad.
Excuse me. And now you can see the ruins of crematorium number 2, which was destroyed in 20 January 1945, only 1 week before the liberation this camp. In the same time was destroyed crematorium number 3, which you can see near that forest. And between this crematorium number 2 and number 3, is international monument, which was built 20 years ago. It was in 1967. 28
flags.
Yes, 28 flowers, yes, flags. And now you can see undressing room, where completely undressed people before the death, and on the left side was a gas chamber, where in one time located there about 2,000 people, and Cyclone B was put into the chamber through those holes in the ceiling, like this one, which you can see on the right side. And after 15 to 20 minutes,
All these
here,
are here, like
special here. And then, after the operation of the corpses, the horrible corpses were cut, the limbs were taken, the teeth were extracted, all bodies were transported into the oven. There were 5 ovens.
So it was all camouflage. You couldn't tell there were buildings here, right?
Yes, like in the exhibition.
It was underground.
In underground, yes. All were situated in underground.
Whose house is that over there?
Those houses, as you can see there, was built after the Second World War, because all peasants from this region were exmitted from here in 1941, and all farmhouses completely destroyed during the war.
What about the, besides the women's barracks, the men barracks?
Men barracks were on the right side.
Are they all destroyed?
Yes. In modern liberation this camp, all barracks were in complete state. But after the war, about 90% 85% of total barracks were destroyed and only fundamental of brick and chimney survived. Because conservation of all barracks is very, very expensive. It is impossible conserving all barracks.
So they only kept the women's barracks?
Women's barracks we saw.
And
That's the only
quarantine
ones that
Sorry,
barracks
sorry?
as well. And quarantine barracks as
Quarantine
What's
barracks.
that?
well are preserved. So
Yes.
that was, the space where new coming transport was located.
Yeah.
So we go, where were the Silap held?
Let me make sure so we don't just. How are you looking at them right now?
We should put it in a cleat. You should put it in
Are these bones? Okay, let's see. Are these bones? Look out of your eyes, Howie.
Picture of everything, of all the crime they committed.
Sarah,
Just as a souvenir, because maybe they didn't believe
they
they
were
used the
so
word.
proud of the way they were doing it.
Honor and order for girls.
What about the fact
heard it
that
was because
people live so close by and
They
you
were
could
so
smell
proud of the way
since
they were
nobody
doing
said
it.
anything,
They wanted
nobody
to show
did anything?
everybody the way to do it.
All people who
Did you
are
smell it? Did you smell it?
Yes, they will smell it because all people who are living here in
The
this
smell that
region,
you smell here, that's what I can smell it here. Now, I can still smell it.
you can smell it actually.
You can smell it that doesn't
They
smell like any
could
place
smell.
else.
Yes, about 15 kilometers from here they
And-
smell.
15 minutes from here to also smell?
15 kilometers from here they smell.
15
Kilometers from
50
here.
kilometers.
15 kilometers.
So how come people didn't say anything? People didn't do anything.
Slowly because
How come people didn't say anything? People live right now nearby. Nobody said anything. Nobody did anything.
What you mean by that?
Yeah.
That
We had underground movement, and
Yes,
in the neighborhood they were partisans who could only help smuggling the proofs, the films from this camp,
Yeah.
abroad, which were sent. Already in 43, England was informed that what happens here. They had films,
Yes.
pictures from Auschwitz, taken by the resistance of
Yes,
this
you
camp.
saw the pictures.
Yeah.
Jewish women who were sent to that camp
Right,
and
but
fires and other.
the people who are in Britain can't do anything. The people who live right nearby here could. They have. Doesn't everyone have to be? The Nazis couldn't do anything without public support.
It is clear that in 20 August 1944, American forces take the pictures, put the pictures in this area. All gas chamber, crematories, railway station, barracks in the canal, the chemist factory. And
So
then
maybe we
special
walk to the
pictures.
monument.
Yeah, but the Nazis couldn't do it without the help of the local people. Unless people here agreed, it's not possible. to do
Alan, I'll take
something
it.
like that.
I see.
You agree?
I see. But all in Americans and Indian people very good know what is happened.
They didn't know. They didn't want to know. They did know. They didn't want to do anything.
It is problem. It is problem. Because only about 7 years ago discovered in White House,
Yeah,
yes,
I saw that.
all documents from the Second World War.
They know. No question that they know.
Yes, yes.
People know.
Ja tu mówimy o tym, że pan mówi, że właśnie Amerykanie nie wiedzieli o tym i tak dalej. No rzeczywiście, dopiero teraz, kilka lat temu odkryto wreszcie dokumenty w Białym Domu odnośnie właśnie sygnatów. Yes, one moment only. Hold on, please. Then, please.
Yeah, Yiddish. This is Hebrew. Where's the English one? Let's see further down. Get out.
By the selection.
And only 10 to 11 taken place in
Is the focus on?
It's cold today, yes. It's cold. Very cold.
400 children are here. And train station.
You never...
Prague now for the first Jolt annual song competition. ISS doesn't have this. Just Jolt. Just Jolt has this. Now.
Fly in Poland. We're number one. We're number one. Okay.
Woo! One of the more exciting days in Jolt 87.
Wait, I need to take a picture.
Here we have two of the most active members of our group here.
Don't make noise. My phone's in my...
Wait, I gotta get my film.
All in a day's work on Jolt
Let's play with them.
87.
Oh no, where's my phone?
John. Look, get it. John.
That's Keith and Russell showing us what Jolt is all about. Touring Fast-paced, life in the fast lane. Now it's time to take a nap. It's gonna take a lot to wake these guys up. Taffy, taffy, fruit taffy.
Right here.
Tiffy taffy. Jolt 87 on the move again. We're touring. We've inspected every single spot in this hotel.
A tie. I can't believe you are doing this now. Wait, can we draw and pull off now?
Okay, we're gonna ready.
Trying to get to it.
I'm eating. Don't take this now.
Okay.
Wait, I want to go pour it in the
No, you gotta do this. Watch, do great.
You have to make sure I
No,
can pour it out.
no, you just have to do this. We gotta get it in there.
There's a Carrera downstairs.
Hi, Mom.
Pete, they got you with like a teddy bear now.
Okay. No. Ready?
Great.
Swear on you, it is.
This is our Jolt bear. Whoops. You know, Nair Bears, this is our Jolt bear. He's listening to our great song, and I'm a Polak. Okay, wait till it comes to the chorus.
That would be really fun if like we turn on the light and try to move the room.
That would be funny.
It's Poland. Turn it around.
Now be
This is Czechoslovakia.
we go because
No,
of like
she's
we
Polish.
done out and just
How? We turn it like sideways.
I feel so stupid. I'm a Polak, see? I'm a Polak. You can't do this, Allie. Stop it.
Okay, it's alright.
Take that red button off.
It's safe now. It's safe now, Virginia.
Yeah, right. Take the red button off.
Taffy.
I like
Anybody
that
in my
beastie
LL Cool
voice.
J?
Put
Does
these
anybody
away.
listen to my LL Cool J?
Darn it. Away.
Damn.
Let's play
LL Cool
Beastie
J.
Boys. Can we do girls for like girls to carry love? Yeah, girls to carry love.
Rachel's.
Wait, we need to play some Miami music here. I don't know how to boogie. You have?
Come on, let's have some surfing. Some surfing music.
Howie! I have that song. I have it.
You have that?
Where's your
First verse. Come on now. First verse. I want to hear one verse from you. First verse. No words.
They are words, are they? I have no makeup on. It keeps saying. Can you turn that off?
You look good.
I don't do it anymore.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about the French
As he
book.
twirls a little can
Don't know much about the science book. Oh, but what I do know is that I love you. And I do know that you love me too. What a wonderful world it would be.
Harry, what are you?
Oh, I know I'm not an A student, baby.
In Czech, it is the political, historical, culture, and administrative center of our country. Our ministries are here. Our federal government has its seat here in Prague. Now we are very close to the main Czech river, Vltava River, Vltava. It is the name of our main Czech river. You will see our river. We are very close. On my left side, there is the river Vltava. The embankment of the river, you can, the boat is on my right side here. And in front of us, there is the river Vltava, Vltava. It is the main Czech river. It is the longest Czech river. It flows the river Vltava. Prague from the 9th century was capital of our country. On the right side, on the left side, the building, it is our ministry, National Gallery with the Czech paintings of 19th century. The yellow building on my left side, it is the oldest synagogue here in Prague. Now we get off our bus.
Okay.
Jolt got a book for everything.
Make sure you narrow. Right, okay. Down.
It is.
Get the door in there, Rabbi, down.
At the same place, the older synagogue was built perhaps in 12th century. And when this new synagogue...
I read it every week in the Jewish press.
The guy that
every week.
Try to go up there. He said he went crazy.
He went like 3 times, by the 3rd time he just went crazy.
I go upstairs.
Because...
He decided to took hold of the place.
Are we going into the shop?
Okay.
At night.
At night?
To the service.
Oh.
So I would like...
See the 2 clocks? One runs according to Hebrew backwards, the other one runs like...
It's on the outlook show.
Show them out. Say you ask somebody to get this house.
Do you have tickets?
Where's my tour guide? Did you go in?
Buy a ticket.
Where's my group? I was with the group.
I don't know, but it's your group.
Where should go? Oh. Where's the battery? What did you say? What?
my goodness, this is gorgeous.
Okay.
They've been moved, right?
I don't know.
In Prague as a Jewish cemetery from 15th till 18th century. But before that, another older cemeteries, Jewish cemeteries were in Prague. And they are the walls from older cemetery from Prague. They were removed here after abolish this older
What was it, 12th to 18th century?
here. And I will explain the whole situation about the Jewish population.
Oh, look at the view just from here. And up you see the synagogue.
Shir.
It is the translation.
Here is hidden the man who understood
the
song.
Sweet songs, he is buried here. Yes, it's some translation.
Alayim Yitar em Rabim, Bim Yechidim, Baki Haya B'Torah, B'Chol Sefer Yechachim, Sefer Mikrim, Avigdor, Ben, Sakar, Yitzchak Karo, Nasi, Hanam Haya, Mamai Nifter, Nikvayim.
You know, this cemetery was established in the 15th century, and around this cemetery from the river Vltava to the old town square in the Middle Ages, it was the Jewish town here in Prague. It was the part of Prague which name was Jewish town. And because the cemetery couldn't be enlarged, so people are buried here in 12 layers, because they only brought the new ground, they raise the tombstones, and people are buried here
I don't understand. How could we 12, what do you 12 layers?
in 12 layers, because at 15th century the cemetery couldn't be enlarged, because around the cemetery was surrounded by many small houses and dwellings, and so it couldn't be enlarged.
So how, I don't see 12 levels. They added earth?
They brought new earth, new ground. They buried people, and they raise only the stones. And so you can see such pictures, yes, so close and so picture.
Is this open tomorrow?
No, tomorrow is closed because it's Shabbat. It's
Sunday?
Sunday is closed. On Sunday is closed again. Open.
So the other children can come here Sunday.
Yes, you will.
Who's that up there? In that big tomb?
Jewish State Museum was created creating before the Second World War in order of Nazis.
So Prague was,
Nazis, they wanted to preserve the culture of race.
so they picked Prague. But how come they picked Prague of all cities?
Pardon?
Why did the Nazis pick Prague of all cities?
I don't know.
The Nazis created a museum here?
You know, it was on the suggestion of the representative of our Jewish population, Jewish people, because these Jewish people, they want...
Do you interview people like at weddings? Do that?
Wait, show the talks. Get the white.
Got the white? Everybody talk to the camera. Hi, can I ask you a question? Now we're on tape, okay, so this is going to go down for posterity. When you gave me that shirt before, was that you were showing me? That
Wait,
was a
this is
present?
the shirt, Rabbi.
This is the shirt. Yeah, did you show the shirt? We have to show the shirt.
We have to give him a shirt. We have to give him a Jolt shirt.
I'm going to pay you. Wait, I'll pay you in crowns. Wait, right there.
Yeah.
But
I gotta focus it here.
it says Jolt.
Pick it up and hold it like a man.
I'll pay you in crowns at you, okay?
Yeah, right.
Jolt. I won't even give you a coin. Now turn around.
Did you give out all the shirts?
What?
Did you give out all the shirts? You didn't throw out all of them, did you?
I didn't.
Did you throw them out?
Yeah, I threw them out.
Why did you throw them out?
I gave them to Czechoslovakian soldiers so I could pick them up. They really appreciated them.
That's disgusting. Not doing this trip.
The people.
The people? Really? What do you like about the people?
They're fine here.
Like me?
No.
You like me too?
No, you don't talk to me.
I don't talk to you?
No.
Oh, we got this on tape. So why didn't you want to talk to me?
No.
Hi, Sharona.
Who?
Wait, I want to show you. This is very exciting. These are the signs they have in Poland, okay? This one means, oh boy, all right, I guess. This one means no yellow signs. And this one means whatever it was you're planning on doing, forget about it. It's not worth the time, all right? Don't understand, but I drew them down just so like I wouldn't forget them when I came to the States where the signs make sense and they have English on them. This is exciting. Oh, and if you're in America, is it still going? If you're in America and you're watching this right now, I just want you to know that the water that you're drinking there is a lot better than here, and it probably isn't twice as even half as dangerous. Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off! Is that what she said? Virginia goes, yes. What do you want?
How are you? Hey, what do you think about this trip so far?
I think it's really good.
What?
I think it's really good.
What do you like about it?
Everything.
Like what? What everything is very general.
Oh,
Can you be more specific?
No, I don't know.
Can you be more specific?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't know.
Who's that over there?
Virginia.
Virginia. She looks great while she's sleeping.
Forget Howie. He doesn't want you to get him anything. Howie doesn't want to be on the video, but put him on. He's back there. A little close up to his face.
Howie, say hello. We got you on paper. Howie, how are you?
I hate this door. I hate it. Get me out.
Peter, you're always sleeping. If you'd go to sleep on time, you wouldn't have this problem. How are you?
All right, look, let's see that stick shift.
What?
You're wearing my favorite hat.
I know. Do you know we found 2 cockroaches in our room last night?
That what?
We found 2 cockroaches in our room last night.
That what?
Cockroaches. We found 2. Me and Tiffany.
You know the cockroaches?
Yeah, this little
We found
roaches
2
that
of
walk
them. You know,
around
they
the
crawl
boat.
around,
It's
you know, they're
really
about this big.
What?
We found 2 cockroaches. You know the cockroaches? It's a cockroach. It's a
No, we don't. We call it a cockroach where I come from. I can't hear it.
What do you call it?
A cockroach.
A cockroach. What do I call it?
You call it something else.
What do I call it?
Something cockroach.
Cockroach. No,
we just stopped.
Anyway, what about your cockroach?
Well, one we found on Shabbos, so we couldn't kill it.
What? I caught you, Rabbi.
That was it.
I just saved you, Rabbi.
Anyway, one we found on Shabbos, so we didn't kill it. We just kind of threw it out of the room. We don't know where it is now.
What?
The other one we found last night, so we kind of threw it out of the room and killed. No, actually, we flushed it.
Today it's again country, and so all boys from 18 till 20, they have to go to military service, and so some of this are trained here in Terezin town.
Is this is Theresienstadt?
Yes, it is.
I heard they had a lot of children here and they did a lot of art. Were there only a lot of children here?
No.
Or just old people?
Yes, but it is the exhibition is in Prague. We visited the exhibition. There is also.
This is Theresienstadt. We just got off the bus. And this is the crematorium.
I was really scared.
You know what this is,
I
Alan?
could feel it.
Howie?
So let's be open, and it's called.
We'll stay here for a while if he wants to go back.
Okay.
So there's a crematorium and then there's a leg grave
Yes,
over it.
it is the crematory where there are four furnaces where people were cremated, and there are some graves. Some of them are some mass graves and some individual.
The mass graves? Where are the mass graves?
Yes, they are
These are all
only
mass
some
graves?
symbols, and there are also Jewish cemetery here around. All Jewish cemeteries.
This is all Jewish? How many people are buried here? 30,000 people?
No, not so much. There are some.
200 people a day. How much?
It's not the written and the particular number. There are some people are buried here.
Around the city.
Yes, it was part of the ghetto, and there was the
Okay, everyone come over here.
Rachel's upstairs too.
Marcella?
1942, and in the October 1942 first, these ovens were set by fire, and about 30,000 victims of Nazism were cremated here in this crematory.
Okay, and what does it say over here?
And there is the Jewish cemetery, and they are victims of the 10 Jewish people are buried here, and on the September 1941 they began to bury people then. But you know, it's not individual graves. In one there are only some symbols. There are not individual.
It wasn't working when you spoke. You
taking a picture? Get the mask over now. You're gonna need a flash.
Hold this. Not nothing. It's flashlight. It's on your phone.
You're gonna need a flash. Not you. Where's Perry? Where's Perry? Here, take this.
You can't take a flash picture from this far.
No, it pisses me off.
What does that say, Seth?
What does that say?
That big thing.
Hold on, I'll take it in a second.
What?
I don't know, it's not in the language I
I
speak.
don't know.
What are they?
What are those names? Oh, it's all a mass grave for one,
Like they sent-
for a whole group of
they sent,
people.
Like, people who are, you know, like professors and doctors. Isn't this, you know, where they sent the educated people that, you know, it was like a little easier on them than other camps might have been?
They only chose, you mean only chose certain people?
Right, like doctors, and because I see all these doctors here. And I knew there was one camp in Czechoslovakia where like it was like a lighter sentence. That they tried to, like, if they knew they couldn't liberate someone and they couldn't get him out of the country in time, they at least tried to get them, you know, the more educated people, they tried to get them here.
That makes sense.
One of those, there was a camp, I think it was this.
That makes sense.
I think the workload was a little.
Yeah. Oops. John, do you know what it said?
Yechiel, Nissen, Ben, Rochaim, Kinif, something Nifner, Yud Beis Kleshvan, Hey Bet, Tufresh, Ayin, Tet. I think. Something like that. Some other letters I can't read. Reskachi, Yechiel, Nissen, Guest 8, 9, in Roman letters, 1918, something 28, something LEB.
Let's go walk over there. Where's
30,000 people buried here.
We put up that, and then we put up that one? I don't understand what that's doing there.
I visited Dachau in Munich. Munich was the place where Hitler came to power, where he promised that he will hang a Jew from every street lamp and throw them all into the river. But all those promises he did not really keep until he came to Poland. This building over here looks like any other building. If you look at the crematorium in Dachau also, it's hidden under trees. So you'll also look around here, there's nothing around. There's nothing around. In the middle of Poland, it was, you saw that Auschwitz was in the middle of the city. And you could smell, we heard a witness from our tour guide that he said you could smell Auschwitz for 15 kilometers. Do you smell anything here? Smell fresh grass. Did you smell a stench in Auschwitz? Do you remember?
Yeah.
It didn't smell like fresh flowers. Didn't smell like dead flowers. It smelled like nothing you've ever smelled before. It still smells after 40 years in Auschwitz. So you see that outside of Poland, they tried to cover up what they did. In Poland, they had nothing to worry about, because when the Jews escaped from the ghetto, the Polish citizens were able to just hack them to death. Not to say that the other ones were much better, but the death camps, this was a work camp, the death camps were only in Poland. The famous death camps were all in Poland because the Nazis knew who they could work with. Buried over here are more Jews than live in many of your cities. It's so unfathomable to think that even so, that this is possible. The only thing that perhaps reaches us, that when we spoke to this woman yesterday, Mrs. Solomon, who was, the Nazis transported all the way from Auschwitz to Mauthausen to Nordhausen to other places, and finally to Theresienstadt, where she was liberated, when she said that perhaps some of the hair of her child was among the pile of that which we saw in Auschwitz, or maybe some of the clothes or some of the shoes of their children were still there, or maybe some of their loved ones were buried there, then we're able to relate to it. But it's quite obvious that saying that here's 30,000 people is numbing. If we say your friend was here, that's quite different. There's a special Kaddish that you say after burial and also at the end of a siyum of a Masechta, which talks about, I'm going to read the translation over here. May his great name grow exalted and sanctified in the world which will be renewed, and where he will resuscitate the dead and raise them to eternal life, and rebuild the city of Jerusalem and complete his temple within it, and uproot alien worship from the earth, and return the service of heaven to its place, where Holy One blessed he will reign in his sovereignty and splendor in your lifetime, in your days, and the lifetime of the entire family of Israel, swiftly and soon. Now respond, Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah. This is the most beautiful of the Kaddishes that are said after the completion of a tractate. And we are over here going to pray and say this Kaddish, that the resurrection of the dead shall take place soon within our day, and that we may all rejoin all of the Jewish people in Jerusalem with the rebuilt temple. When we talk about exile, diaspora, we don't talk about physically whether we live in Jerusalem or Baltimore. It's true that Jerusalem is the holiest of cities and Israel is the holiest of lands. And it is a great mitzvah for each and every one of us, and a great merit if each and every one of us could perhaps live there one day. However, as this Kaddish says, that what we pray for is the resurrection and the return of the Holy Shekhinah, the Holy Presence, back to Jerusalem. And until that happens, we still are considered in the diaspora. So let us say this prayer, let us say this Kaddish, let us answer Amen from the depths of our soul to commemorate these people who have no tombstone and have no mark, and have no body and have no bones and have no skulls. They were all burnt to ashes. I could just tell you one story, that when I was in yeshiva, there was a friend of mine who went to a yeshiva in Far Rockaway. I was in yeshiva in Baltimore, and he went to the mikveh at the ocean, at the Atlantic Ocean, at the beach in Far Rockaway. No one ever found him. He drowned, and it was a very terrible thing because his body was not found either. He disappeared, and no one ever saw him. Several weeks later, his body was identified, and I remember how the entire yeshiva went to this funeral because he was lucky enough to have a Jewish funeral. And at that point, I realized how very special it is to merit a Jewish funeral, because not everyone merits that. There's a famous story of the Rabbi Yisrael Shapira of Blujev. He is alive today, and he lives in Borough Park. He was an inmate in the camp of Auschwitz. And the great rabbi of the Rosh Yeshiva of the Yeshiva in Lakewood, Rav Shner Kotler, unfortunately had the terrible pain of burying his son Meir. He had cancer and he died. And when I was just 2 months ago in Israel, I was in Har HaMenuchot, in the cemetery over there, and I was walking to the graves. I came upon his grave as well. And as you can understand, there's perhaps no greater punishment than a person to bury his own child. Now, if the child is a little one, as the age grows older, the more attached you become to the child. And when a child is married and I don't know if he had children, but he was already married, and he was an accomplished Talmud Chacham, a great man, so the pain is even greater. We should all never, ever have to suffer that kind of pain, to ever have to bury any of our children. So the Blujev Rebbe went to be Menachem Avel, to pay his respect to Rabbi Cutler. And he came into the room, and in the room he saw there was a terrible sight, because according to the law, a mourner, unless he addresses you, you cannot speak to him. Unless the person in mourning says hello to you first, you cannot speak to him. And here he was, Rabbi Shapiro walked into the room, and there was not a single sound. He sat there, and the room was full from beginning to end with people, and not a word was uttered. And you could understand how deafening and how painful it is to walk into a situation that you don't know what to do. He's not accepting condolences, and nobody can give him condolences. And everyone's there with a stone silence. So the Bluzhever Rebbe walked over to him and said the following. He said, Rabbi Cutler, he said, I had a wife with 9 beautiful children before the war, and they were beautiful and they lit up the sun. When they died, no one knows where they died. They never received a proper burial. And when I was mourning, no one came to console me. You had the merit of having a beautiful son, and to see him to grow up, to marry him off, and also to give him Kivuras Yisrael, a Jewish burial. How lucky you are. And after that, Rabbi Cutler acknowledged everyone, and then they began to talk. And after he finished his mourning period, he called up the Bluzhever Rebbe to thank him for giving him these words of consolation. So these people have no marker, and they are the lucky ones. They even have a grave.
Back of the crematorium. This is the other side where continuation of the mass graves. Now they have for every country, they have a memorial. For each country.
Nearby, this was erected from the contributions of the Jewish community in Czechoslovakia in the year 1955. And God should have mercy on their ashes. Anyway, as you can see, the Jewish part of the Holocaust is minimized because of the big cross. The bigger memorials is the one big cross over there, and also the Soviet memorial. It does not say very clearly that it was a Jewish tragedy, just the number of people. One of the things that I find most interesting, or not interesting, or one thing that stares at me is how time can and the ground just covers up what happened. When we were at the end of the train tracks where the memorial is, and just like this in Auschwitz, where it just mentions nations, but that's where the trains were unloaded. I think that little place on Earth has to be the most, that earth, that ground, has to have heard the most terrible sounds that have ever taken place in the history of mankind. There is no place where 3 million people, 4 million people, perhaps even more, suffered. You know, we read about it, we heard it, it doesn't relate to us, how parents, families, after traveling in these cattle cars for 4 days, were terrorized and separated forever, unexpectedly. I mean, can you imagine facing the death, the open pits at night, the stench? I mean, we can't imagine. So what took place over there has to be the most terrible place that has ever, the earth there has heard the most terrible things that have ever been uttered by human people. I cannot imagine any place, even the destruction of the temple. I cannot imagine that kind of suffering that took place. Yet it's covered over. Time and grass can change it. If you look at this could be a very pretty park. And now I understand that when the first murder took place, when Cain killed Hevel, when Cain killed Abel, to train, and that it was considered terrible that the earth covered up his blood. It just boggles my mind that the earth should cover up the blood. There's only one time that I know of, and I'm not that knowledgeable, that this did not take place. So when we're going to learn the Gemara in Gittin about the destruction of the temple, they murdered a Navi, a Kohen in the Beis Hamikdash, Zechariah, and his blood bubbled. And his blood was not soaked in, and his blood was moving for a long time. That's the only time the earth, in the Beis Hamikdash, in the holy place, it could not cover up his blood. And it was only after Nebuchadnezzar, they call the butcher, he was called. He killed thousands upon thousands of people. He killed thousands upon thousands of children. He killed thousands upon thousands of people. And when he had heard why this blood was bubbling, he tried to quell its bubbling. Until finally Nebuchadnezzar said to the blood, "Do you want me to kill everyone in order to calm you?" And then it stopped. When the blood heard that it was going to cause suffering to Jews, then it stopped. So in a holy place, it does not cover up. This is not this country and all those other countries where these terrible things took place. Someone mentioned to me that no one is guilty. People here are not guilty. We believe that those people who are meritorious will never have anything even by accident happen wrong to them. Check, the city of Prague was one of the worst cities for the Jews. The Maral created a golem to protect his community from blood libels. Prague was an enlightened city, universities would study, with beautiful architecture. But it never helped protect the Jews. So none of these countries, this earth is guilty for covering up this blood. The people are guilty for covering up this blood. And when you go to the small community, I want you to understand 100,000 people live stuffed in here. I was listening to the tape of Howie's father talking out to Ravenstadt. Maybe we'll listen to it later. But you can see that Howie is like his father. His father saying the food wasn't so bad, it wasn't so terrible. You know what I mean? 100,000 people crowded and 200 people dying of starvation every day, and it wasn't so terrible.
Austro-Hungarian Emperor Joseph II. It was founded in 1780. And during 10 years, this small fortress, the big fortress is named for the town of Terezin, had been building during 10 years.
So this complex is called a small fortress. And the big wall around the other city was called the big fortress. And originally this was a fortress for
Yes, in 18th century, which were to save us against our neighbors Germans from the north. It was built originally in that way. Yes, it was built as a save us against the Germans from the north. This small fortress was overhanded by Gestapo, SS, Gestapo police, Nazist police in the year 1940 as their jail. In 1940 they created Gestapo police, they created here their jail for very heavy criminals according their opinion.
What do you mean heavy? You mean Jews?
No only for Jews, it was for all political people, leaders resistant against Nazis.
But it wasn't most people was Ravenstadt Jews.
In Theresienstadt, but it was two things. Theresienstadt was created as a Jewish ghetto. It is big fortress, and this small fortress there was created the jail for political prisoners. You know? Can you understand me? And it was in 1940, this in small fortress was created jail for Gestapo Nazist police. In 1941, in big fortress, so that means in town Terezin was created Jewish ghetto for Jewish people. To the big fortress, to the town Terezin, they were sending the Jewish people from European countries. Through the ghetto came about 140,000 Jewish people from European countries during the Second World War. And from Terezin ghetto they were deported, transferred to some extermination camps to Poland, to USSR and to other European countries where they were extermination camps. About 80,000 Jewish people were deported during the 6 years war to some extermination camps from the Terezin. And about that, and from that 88,000 Jewish people who was deported from Terezin to some extermination concentration camp, only 3,000 came back after the war from this 88,000. Mostly prison people from the ghetto, they were deported mostly to Auschwitz, to the camp number 2, to Brzezinka was the name of this camp for Jewish people. On the 5th of May 1945, Nazis escaped of Terezin and also of the small fortress.
8. května potom projela Terezínem sovětská armáda a vězni se stali svobodnými.
And at the 8th of May, Russian army came to Terezin.
Poněvadž vypukla v malé pevnosti epidemie břišního a spodnitého tyfu, vězni zde museli setrvávat až do poloviny srpna.
But because on the April 1945 broken out here big epidemic of typhus here in small fortress.
When? What year? April.
Yes, and so all prisoners had to stay here till the end of August, last of them, because there was some quarantine, yes, here, so they had to stay here.
Po zrušení karantény se potom vězni rozešli svých domovů do 20 států.
And after the end of this epidemic, the prisoners went to the 29 states through the whole Europe after that. Who survived, they could go home. And they were from 29 countries.
To by bylo tak krásné.
Jo, já už nevím o tom taky něco říkám.
Nyní se nacházíme na správním dvoře.
We are at the administrative court of the jail of a small fortress here.
Na tento dvůr přicházely transporty vězňů. Vězni museli stáčet boty a čekat, až budou vyvoláni do přijímací.
All new transports of prisoners came to this administrative court. When they came, they have to stay such a way, and they have to wait many hours before they were sending to some blocks and to some this building.
Přijímací kanceláře byly zaregistrováni a odevzdali tam své cenné věci.
In the first, in this door here, which has number 2, they were registered. They had to left all their personal things there, and they were registered. It was in the room which has number 2. From this register room, the prisoners have to go to the last room. It is it is the number 5, where they have to leave their clothes, their civil clothes. They got there some clothes of prisoners. Formerly, at the beginning, they were the formal uniform of Czech army, and later, because they had no such many uniforms, so they could let their civil clothes. Jsem jim řekla, že pak, jo.
V této místnosti byla umístěna strážnice.
In this room number 3, there were the guards, the Gestapo, the supervisors who guard the prisoners here. So they had their room here. Because it is the German name for the room where they have the seat, guard room.
Does it mean it's not a prison?
No, they were.
They live there.
They have some office there.
Oh, okay.
V této strážnici běžela ústupku na přežití jeden z dozorců.
Here they were the 24 hours a day. They were walking there without any staff. For 24 hours.
V další neoznačené místnosti měla kancelář
In the room number 4, it was the office of the commander of the whole small fortress.
dodatečné výslechy.
In other rooms, they investigated the prisoners.
Is this room open? Is anything here we can see?
No, you will see some cells are open.
What about the underground? Can we see the torture chambers underground?
No. Oni chtějí pořád vidět nějaký komory,
Yes, what was the name of the
kde je
commander
mučili
again?
pod zemí. There are no any chambers underground here. There was a factory underground, but nowadays there is the store for vegetables, but they were not any underground chamber for torture here. No?
What was the
So
commander's
there
name?
But they are not.
What was the commander's name? What was the name of the person in charge over here?
Pardon?
What was the name of the commander?
Yekel.
Yekel. J-A-E-K-E-L.
Yes.
We heard yesterday from Mrs. Solomon that when, at the end of the war, she also said that on May 8th that she was liberated from here, and that a friend of hers begged. It was only a few hours. They wanted to kill all the Jews that they had, and instead of if they would have come by 5 o'clock when they were planning to come, they would have been killed. Except they got the Germans, they got the Russian soldiers to liberate them 3 hours earlier. That's what Mrs. Solomon, who was here at Liberation, told us yesterday.
Yeah, they had it, I think, on most of the camps. Work makes you free.
Really?
Yeah. That's what they said when they came here.
Lots.
V té budově za vámi byla kancelář velitele prvního dvora.
In the building in front of us, it was the office of the commander of this courtyard.
Tam byla sestavována také pracovní komanda.
They also prepared that the teams for working some kind of working commands or working teams.
Vězni, kteří pracovali ve venkovních komandách, docházeli do práce do Litoměřic, Lovosic a Ústí nad
Some
Labem.
prisoners they work out of this jail, and so they work around this in the small town Litoměřice here and in factories around this jail.
Vězni, kteří pracovali ve vnitřních komandech, pomáhali na různých stavebních úpravách pevnosti, skupině a
Some prisoners they work here in the fortress. They repair some buildings. They help in the kitchen for all work.
My se půjdeme podívat do jedné z hromadných cel.
We go to look to one of common cell.
Useful.
Yeah. I think so.
And it was used for 50 Jewish people. For Russians was very bad here, but for Jewish people was much worse. So we go out and you can look to one Jewish. And you go right, there is a Jewish cell, which it was also kind of torture cell. So in front of you it is the Jewish cell which were used for 50 persons. Most people they were there 50. To bylo topení nebo co, že jo?
people?
They have-
Tiffany, how many people?
It said 40 to 60.
40 to 60?
I mean, there's basically 12 beds here.
These beds are much bigger than the beds that were out.
Yeah, we're just impacting
It got up to as many as 80.
She said for the Russians? Like you said,
Yeah,
40
but
to
still,
60.
look at it. It's
So
like,
how many people would be on one board here?
But think of how much more room you
On
have.
one long one or on one?
One thing here.
They're 80?
3, 4, 5.
it would be about
There was,
Six at the minute.
in here,
Yeah.
there's 5 at the most at one time. There's 12 beds, and there were
Yeah, she
40
said
times
it
as
got
much.
up to as many as 80.
And 60, she said.
You can sit up under
She
here.
said 60.
She said it got up to as many as 80.
She did, Joe.
Got in here.
Okay. This solitary cell. There are about 20 such solitary small cells. And here was the store with the food at the end of this courtyard. There was one German supervisor. His name was Hohaus. He was German man. He was also a member of Gestapo police, but he helped very much to all prisoners here, because secretly he gave them some food, because they suffered from starving very much here. And after the war, because people knew about how he did very well for prisoners, so he had trial after the war, because he was fined here too. But nothing happened to him. He lived in our country about 18 years. After that, he emigrated to West Germany, and every year he come back to visit this place, and he had many friends around from the people who are living around this Terezin camp, because he was one of the very good German men who helped very much prisoners who were kept here. You know, there is some small yard, and very often the prisoners were tortured here. Sometimes only for entertainment of Gestapo. For example, they were stoned by other prisoners. They were forced to stone them, and when they have some wounded, they gave them the salt inside, and without anything to the water, they gave him salt to the mouth, and they tortured them such a way, because they investigated them, and if they wanted to know something, they made with them such horrible way. You know, for example, 2 prisoners were stoned to the death in the yard here because they had tried to escape, but they were not successful, and after that they were given and they were stoned to the death by other prisoners.
These are constant.
Names?
These are different, yeah.
Chiblinka, Bergen-Belsen.
Yeah, I'll be there. Here they have people, they have, on the trays they have ashes here. This is the outside of the Gestapo torture area that we were just in.
Has an incredible
Can we see your face, Cindy? Cindy, one of the
face.
few New Yorkers on this tour. Okay?
An incredible
And now this is
metamorphosis
before, a gorgeous young girl. Now this is after she turns into Cousin It.
How many went, Cindy?
Now we have welcome.
Stand right there, don't move. 1, 2, 7.
Frog.
Over here.
Here. What? What? Take one.
Every part of that paper
Rachel!
Sarah.
Sarah, would you please be polite? I'm recording, Howie.
Okay, here we go. Jolt 87, take 1, 2, 1. Action.
Action!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jolt 87, first competition. First competition of the Jolt 87 Talking Charades Name That Person competition. Only at Jolt do you get this. Only at Jolt. Let me explain to you a little bit about this game. We have our lovely Miss Vanna White over here. Come out here. Vanna Red. Miss Vanna Red.
Where is she?
All right. She's so red, her hair's changing color.
She's shy. Okay, we got it. We got two Vannas back here.
You guys should start.
Oh, Vanna.
Don't be a killjoy. Okay, we've been to 2 countries already so far. We're heading for our 3rd, and by now we can already realize we have personalities. And we have personalities on Jolt 87. Okay, each one of us is a personality, and we have met personalities on Jolt 87. Jolt 87 has met personality. We are personalities. We have met personalities. Personality meeting personalities.
We're supposed to look like that.
Sorry. Got it.
Now,
Yeah, right.
obviously this game is, everyone just to make fun of each other in a nice way. No making fun, just kidding. No making fun.
I'll take door number 3 for 10 zloty.
Person gets up here, center stage, and you can talk without saying the name of the person. You have to act out that person, what that person would say, how that person, try to give as many hints to make other people guess who you are doing.
Go first, Howie.
Okay?
Go first, Howie. Go first, Howie.
Okay, I'll give you an example, all right?
Only because we bet.
All right?
Where's my blue bag?
So that's an example. There you have an example. And everyone knows who we're talking about. Okay?
Anyone get personal?
Let's do the Rabbi.
Okay, do we have any volunteers from the audience for the first one, just to get the ball rolling?
Yeah. Start the board.
Deborah, come on. Let's go.
Thank you, Don.
No, second, they'll get send this to you. You do it.
I'll get back up. Shut it off. Why are you here? Where's Alan? We're being made fun of here.
Hey, guess that person who she's doing has to do the next one.
We were totally cool, I want you to know.
He had a gun. All right. Yeah. Excuse me.
Can I
Speaking time. Interview the audience. Interview the audience. Alan Gimbal. The first one is a mop. What's a mop? I don't know what a mop is. The maid uses a mop. Okay, and the second one is Rabbi. I didn't say a word. And that's it.
Great
He told me to say that. I don't want to hurt anybody. By Alan Gimbal.
You know what's going on in my mind, so let me get right to the point. I don't have to play with every guy I meet.
Okay, that's enough.
Big spender. Spend time with me.
intermission. Okay.
Somebody shut up. Go ahead.
Okay, we know it's a guy.
She said no.
It's the Rabbi. Rabbi, you're next. You have to do it now. I got it. Go ahead.
I'm doing a solo then?
Ah, master!
Somebody help me out with my... I'll take snow. Could somebody help me with the...
It's not that bad!
I don't know. It's the first time, but I don't know. There you go. Oh, yeah, love it.
Her name was Lola. She was a show horse. Her name was Lola, and she was a and her name was Lola, and she was a show horse. Her name was I'm pretend I'm singing, okay? Her name was she was a show horse. Anyone else I can tell? Is anyone else I can tell? Her name was Lola. She was a show horse. John. Anyone knew it? There you got it.
Yeah, we got the song.
I'm supposed to be singing it.
I understand.
Who was that, John?
Yes.
Okay,
John,
go
when
over
did you
there.
do that?
I'll teach you. Chief, I'll teach him. I'll teach him Indian song.
Okay. Sad. Give me a break.
Helping her?
Hey wife, is there anybody who volunteers for anything here?
Sure, I will.
Oh yeah?
Anybody what?
Can I... Volunteers for anything!
Volunteer to help out with something?
Yeah, listen, can I carry your baggage, wash your clothes, do your underwear? I don't mind carrying 50 pounds of luggage, there's no problem. Thank you.
Come on, Joe.
You're just supposed to be funny.
Okay. Because
You might not remember.
It's not someone who's on our tour, but you'll remember it. Joanne.
Come over here. All of you line up. Girl, come here. Come line up. Get in a crowd. I'll wait. I want you to get in a line now. All of you line up. Line up now. Sit down there. No. You sit here. I'm gonna wait.
Alan, hold the books.
I'm just gonna take 3 pictures. Okay? Oh, okay. I'm gonna take 5 more pictures, okay? I'm just gonna take 20 pictures, okay? There, you got it.
Howie.
I was the rabbi.
We're gonna miss the bus. We don't want to make it hard.
We got 5 minutes. Whatever.
Okay, this will be a short interview.
Who the hell?
You have to think hard. You might not really catch it right away. But you have to... Okay, who am I imitating?
I can't sing. Deborah.
That was him in show.
Peter.
That was happening in show.
That was Peter be sneezing.
Can I do another one?
Okay.
How do we do another one? How do we do another one?
It's not 11.
Last
10.
one. Okay. Rabbi, I can't believe it. I'm sick. I'm dying. Rabbi, I'm dying. If I see another cockroach, a baby bug, my nose, my throat, my stomach, Rabbi, I'll suck you in the mouth. If you say no more to me, Rabbi, I'll punch you all out. You guys do what? meeting each other at the airport. That's Jolt 87.
Hi, how are you? What'd you get on your SAT score?
Regards to Varsha.
So this is in the middle, you know, in a lot of European places have the grave of the unknown soldier, which means that when a statesman is visiting, they usually come and pay tribute, so they lay a wreath. So this is the place in Budapest where all statesmen and people who come, most probably this was a rehearsal of something that is coming either today or tomorrow, but this is not the main site of the square, I mean the soldiers. So let me tell you a few words about the monuments, right? So as I mentioned, this is called the Millennium Monument, which means 1,000-year-old. The first Hungarian kingdom, the first independent Hungarian kingdom was established in 896. In the middle you can see a column, and below the column the equestrian statues of the tribe leaders of the Hungarian tribes. The main leader, who is in the front in the middle, was called Árpád, which is an ancient Hungarian name. There were 7 tribes, and these tribes came from Asia through the Carpathians into the Carpathian Basin. In the 2 semicircles, that is in the colonnades on 2 sides, in each section, you can see the statue of Hungarian kings. In the first section, the very first king is called Stephen I. He is the most important.
That fearful face over there? Did you get that guy in the second? No, he's a fearful guy. Awful looking fellow. With mustache. Got a close with that face. Yeah. Had some space. The guy next with the horns, that's a great looking guy. Did anybody ever sit up on the Where are you all from? States? All over. Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. You? Baltimore. Yeah. Pasadena. Like California. No, Baltimore, Maryland. You said. Pasadena, Maryland. Yeah. That's near Bowie. No. It's right there in Annapolis, right south of Baltimore. Right. I love the Baltimore. Do you? Where? Yeah, we live on the Magothy River. Who's from Baltimore here? Right here. Baltimore. That's it from Baltimore. That's it from Silver Spring. Very good, very good. We're just driving my car, my daughter, her friend, and my wife, and we're just landed in Paris and came through Mount Blanc. We came from Warsaw. We landed in Warsaw. Oh, really? We're coming west. Experience. How are you getting around? Well, we're taking trains. Oh, okay. We rented a car in Paris. Yeah. It's not that expensive. No. And we went through the Mount Blanc tunnel, French Alps, and Venice, down to Yugoslavia, and then here. Well, I couldn't get a car big enough for my no.
For the luggage, huh?
Take a picture over here for Pasadena. Let's wave it if people back home.
I got 2 of us. Dave Blanche.
Lowenbraun's the name. They call me YouTube.
Okay. Very good.
Jolt 80. Can you say Jolt 80? Can you please say Jolt 87?
Jolt 87.
Thank you very much.
Okay, overseas leadership training. She's from Plantation, Florida, and she's from New York.
New York, huh?
Reading,
I
Pennsylvania.
gotta get over here. They're gonna move it out.
Howie, smile.
Small world.
I don't think it's gonna come out.
Look at us.
He's like, get me.
Hi, Mom. Guys, that is so stupid. Hi, Mom. How could you say something like that? Hi, Dad.
Sir, can you say Jolt 87, please? Can you just say Jolt 87?
Jolt 87.
Yes, Jolt 87. That's the name of our group. Our group is called Jolt 87.
Can you say it?
Yes, yes.
Say Jolt 87, please.
Jolt 87.
Yay! Go ahead, ma'am.
Jolt 87.
Thank you very much.
They only practice for 5 seconds
Peter.
and they're done. When they're done, we'll ask them.
Are you taping it? Don't tape it.
Wait, there's two guys right there. Howie, there's people right there. They look American. There's people right there we could ask to say.
Very American.
And then when I get there, you have to turn. Thomas television show.
Like right over there. How long is this going to take them?
Don't know. I think so, 10 minutes.
Okay.
Tell them to say Jolt 87.
Can you tell them? Can you say Jolt 87?
That's right, but you can't take that just from that place.
Just over there?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine.
Okay, sure.
Can you say something for us? Can you ask him to say something
Sorry?
for us? Can you ask him to say something for us?
Jolt 87.
Say Jolt 87 in there. Run the video.
Azt kérdezik, hogy mondhatsz bele valami, de szerintem nem. I don't think so.
It's the
Say
name of
Jolt
our group.
87.
We have make a television
It's
show.
the name of our group. It doesn't mean anything.
tévét be akarják bemutatni valahogy.
Come on, he'll be on television.
Just say Jolt.
You don't need that.
Forget it.
Don't.
Tell me it doesn't just forget it.
International relations.
No, sorry, no.
Just forget it.
She's waiting over there, Rabbi.
Like, can I ask you a question? We're not waiting for them?
No, you can't. We have to be fab. You have to go to half.